Hey y'all, it is me, Barb Meets World, and I will be giving you guys my recap and review for Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 4, which is entitled Revenge of the Bride. Y'all, where do I start with this? Well, actually, first of all, go ahead and like the video. That's where we're going to start. And second, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you check that description box below as well so you can be aware of all of the social media platforms that I am on and any other pertinent information. Go ahead if you do mind, if you do not mind, I should say, and share me with your people. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video now, shall we? For real. Well, I keep kicking this thing on my chair, so I apologize if y'all can hear that, but nonetheless, this episode began with a clip of both Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly paying none other than the Miss Phaedra Parks a visit. We haven't ever seen this house of Phaedra's because she moved into it after she was off of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm never judging anybody, y'all. That's first and foremost, okay? I'm never judging nobody. But the decor of it all was very much all over the place for me. That goes for me personally. If y'all like it, that's great. I'm not trying to come for you. And Phaedra, I'm not trying to come for you either. However, it was a bit tacky for me. It was a bit much. It was a bit all over the place. It was not very cohesive or aesthetically pleasing to my eyes. But it is what it is. Go off, sis. However, Dr. Heavenly, she didn't waste no time shading it. Even though she tried to play it off and say that it was unique, and there was definitely some shade underneath it all. But, you know, I digress. Dr. Jackie wasted absolutely no time once Phaedra came back from getting them some house shoes or whatever. Wasted absolutely no time asking Quad why, or asking Phaedra why she invited Quad to the bachelorette party. You know, that whole thing that we saw in last week's episode. Yeah, that. Yeah, I can't even lie, y'all. If I was Phaedra, I would definitely have my answer ready. And if we know Phaedra, we know that she is very calculated. So she's going to go ahead and say that, or her justification was basically that it was done in an effort to show Letitia, aka Sweet Tea, it was done to kind of solidify her place in the group. What? Okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever. I mean, we all know what happened for real. So it's a show at the end of the day that was very much orchestrated to happen like how it happened. So what's done has been done. And I mean, I don't really think anything good or bad came out of this situation. It was definitely unnecessary, but at the end of the day, this is a show. It's a reality show. And there's always an agenda. There's always, you always got to be looking over your shoulder for the unthinkable to happen. So that's what we saw last week. And Dr. Jackie also lets us know that she still kind of has like a thorn in her side over not hearing from Quad. You know, a lot of you all say that Quad, you guys are not Quad fans. You say she could go, and that she's been like checked out ever since she was doing the sister circle thing or whatever, that she acted like she didn't need them when that whole thing came along. So I think that's kind of where this stems from. I feel like they always clock from their perspective. I'm talking about the other ladies. They always clock like when Quad is on her, it's all about me. Like, I don't need you on some like diva type stuff or whatever. So I guess that's kind of where, in my eyes, Dr. Jackie may be coming from. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. And at the same time, Dr. Heavenly, she's not letting anyone forget that, you know, Dr. G had his own set of issues and that he needed to do some work on himself. She's bringing up the things that a lot of us are thinking. A lot of us know, like, you know, and I say that, you know, from like an alleged place, of course, because of, at the end of the day, no, we don't know these people's lives for real, like 100%. We only know what we see, and we kind of formulate our own opinions around that. But I do not believe that man has done all of what needs to be done in order for him to be a conducive partner, if you ask me. And I say that because there really was no incentive for him to like change this whole time, especially when you got, you know, the sweet teas of the world sliding in your DM talking about, I can give you what you want. There was no incentive for him to change. And just based on, you know, what we've seen of him for the last couple episodes, he still has that controlling-esque, that very it's my way or the highway type esque like voice to me, which is kind of my way of saying the same things that Quad has said about him. Like, you know, holding the finances over her head and you know, all of the other things. It's just yeah. Too much. So the next scene, we're over at Dr. Simone's house. Whew, gosh. Oh, it doesn't end. We're over at Dr. Simone's house, and Cecil's talking to Miles, which is the older son, the 4-year-old. He's basically making excuses about why he's been getting C's and kind of just floating, seeing his way through college, as Simone would say. Ooh, my knee just hit the desk now. Coming from somebody who's a professional student at this point, self-proclaimed professional student, because I feel like I've been in school for the past like 3 years. One more class, y'all. One more class. I'm at my master's degree. Oh my gosh, yes. Clapping for myself because I'm so ready to be done. Whew. One more class. But coming from me, Cecil did say something, we're going to start off with the good. Cecil did say something that I think was, kind of true. He said that sometimes school is not about learning the material as much as it is about getting the grade to move to the next level. I said, let's start off with the good. So that was the good. I know that because some classes, especially in my grad program, it's just like not very, it's my second to last class I was in had literally nothing to do with my major, like at all. Like, as a matter of fact, I can't even remember what it was. Was it statistic? I don't even remember, y'all. Moral of the story is literally just did the assignments, did what I had to do, met the requirements to move on without really truly trying to consume the information, because I know it has nothing to do with my degree. So again, to wrap that up, Cecil made a point with that. However, the negative, in my eyes at least, is that Cecil's then also giving this young man the bright idea to take the summer off of school so that he can get some hands-on experience in the film industry. What? Already knowing that this has been a sore topic in the household for y'all for the last, I don't know how long, how many years at this point. Oh my God, y'all. I hope you didn't hear that. I just sneezed. Oh, I couldn't mute it fast enough. But anyway, Dr. Simone freaking has been very vocal about wanting to be basically an empty nester. She ready to retire. She's not trying to keep taking care of 3 grown men, as she said. And I get it. And this is coming from somebody who's not saying that automatically cut the kids off completely at 18. No, like, you gotta get it on your own. Like, absolutely no type of assistance once they're of legal age. No. And legal age meaning 18. But anyway, for some people, of course, we say, 21 is of legal age, like for drinking and other stuff. So just had to get that context. Anyway, gosh, but she's been very vocal about that. So it's just like, okay, why on earth would you then give this 24-year-old the bright idea to freaking prolong graduation again, when honestly, I don't see why he couldn't do both. If we're talking about like interning, like a summer internship and juggling classes, I don't think that that's impossible. And I know that's not impossible, because at one point I haven't taken multiple classes in my grad program, and I would have, but my school is like really stupid about that. It's a whole bunch of paperwork to request. It's stupid. So I was just like, I don't even have time for that. Anyway, well, otherwise I would have done 2. But in my undergrad, I definitely took, by my last year, I want to say I was taking 3 classes at once, which is considered like triple full time at my school. At least it was. Maxing out my status like 3 times. Like, yeah. So, and I did that while managing a salon full time, while also having my own jewelry and waist speed business going all through the panorama before we moved from North Carolina, or before we moved back to California, which we are in now. I did all that while doing all that work. So I don't see why he couldn't still intern or something along those lines, freelance, whatever, be mentored and still take the summer classes. But, you know, it is what it is. That's their life, not mine. But I don't think that supporting your child after the age of 18 during like their early 20s is a bad thing if they are trying to further themselves, if they're also simultaneously working on something constructive within themselves, within their life. But hey, maybe you keep them on the health insurance a couple more years. Maybe you help them with their car payment or something, or some of a portion of their rent or something like that, or they're still living at home. Simply put, there's nothing wrong with doing that for those couple years, in my opinion, y'all. But at this point, he need to make a decision. He need to figure it out like ASAP. I got to side with Simone mainly on this one. I see her point. Like, I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to kick my feet up. I'm ready to run around naked, as she said. Which that actually, no, we'll get into that in a second. But I'm just like, I kind of understand where everybody was coming from on Twitter. And I've seen a couple of people in their videos at this point saying the same thing, where it's like, it low-key is giving Cecil is purposely telling them advice that he knows is going to piss Simone off, just to spite her for not being able to still be friends with that lady. A lot of people were saying that, and I could kind of, I could see that. I could definitely see that, because the way he says these petty comments out of nowhere all the time about Quad since the beginning, and Cecil is petty. Anyway, in my eyes. Talking about some wired people against generational wealth. If you don't get up, what does Cecil do for work again, y'all? Oh, okay. Anyway, so next scene, there's at this point 24 hours until the wedding. Letitia, aka Sweet Tea, and Dr. G are down at the venue. He says he had a great night. We get flashbacks, the big booties and all that, and the, oh, hey, you can come to the wedding, asking strippers if they want to come to the wedding, all that. Yeah. That was a great night for him. However, she is the total opposite. She's still feeling stressed. She's still feeling some type of way about Quad showing up to the bachelorette. And she, of course, tells Dr. G this. And he's like, what? Like, huh? Like, Quad, ex-wife, Quad, huh? He's like, now, why would Phaedra do that? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, hello, whose side are you on? So that's unsettling for him, but they're just going to table that for the time being because they have to do the wedding rehearsal. So mostly her family, from what I saw, was there. Mom, dad, sisters, cousins, aunties, everybody was there. Everybody was there, child. And the dad, he was ready to shake Dr. G's hand and sit down. We come to find out that dad has always been in favor of Dr. G. That's his man, 100 grand. He's sticking beside him. That's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man. Yeah, all that. And I'm like looking at the dad like, I don't know. That's just not the reaction my dad would have if I was with a person like Dr. G. That's all I'm going to say about that one. You guys can fill in the blanks as you choose. My dad would not be cool with that. So it was just kind of just odd to me, or foreign to me, at least. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that. But Dr. G does finally, like, he can't even wrap his head around this, so he pulls away for a second and calls Phaedra to ask her, like, yo, why? And Phaedra's like, why what? Mm-hmm. She knew exactly what he was talking about. Like, don't play with me. And she says that she did it to quell any uncertainty or insecurities that Letitia, Sweet Tea, may have about Quad, and that she needs to illustrate that there was no issues there, as well as bring her on behalf of the other ladies too, to kind of dispel like any confusion between them and stuff. And he's like, I don't really care about those other ladies, but like, whose side are you on? What is up with you? And she says, Sweet Tea's her girl. She's definitely on her side. And do we believe that? No, we believe that Phaedra's on Phaedra's side, because Phaedra's always on Phaedra's side. But she affirms him, so that's just where sleeping dogs lie at this point with that. We see Toya receiving breakfast in bed. It's also her birthday. It's the next day. It's not only Toya's birthday, it's also Alora's prom, which we'll get into that in a second. It's just a big day down in Atlanta, okay? And Toya lets us know that Ashton, the oldest son, he's off at Disney World, Orlando, Florida, Volcano Bay, to be exact. I know because I recognize that volcano in the back, and I really like that water park, okay? So he's there. Y'all, shout out to DJ Ricky Sky. If you watch him, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't, definitely check him out. Shout outs to him, because he brought up a point that I was definitely thinking, and I wasn't live tweeting when this was on. I wish I was. I'm too lazy to go back now and look. But y'all let me know. Did y'all notice that Toya, was she in like a guest bedroom or something? Because we know that Toya spares no expense in any aspect of her life, and I'm not mad at it. Go off, sis. I'm here for it, because you only live once, and if you got it, then flaunt it. That's fine by me. However, with that being said, that room was not really living up to everything I just said. Like, it was very just bare minimal, and it just kind of looked like a guest bedroom. I'm just curious. I'm not shading it. I'm not saying it looked dirty or cheap or nothing negative. It just didn't look like how I feel the rest of Toya's house looks, and how she likes stuff like decor. She loves the finer things in life. She likes that, and that room just wasn't really given that. So I was just curious. Let me know if you guys noticed that as well. Where we at? So then we pan on over to the bridal suite. Remember when you used to date Carlos? One of her friends, one of her bridesmaids was like bringing up her like ex, her first love or whatever. Like, what? Okay, next. Carlos, come to the front if you got tea. Anyway, moving on. So her mom, first of all, is very, very beautiful. Sweet Tea's mom, Letitia, her mom is very, very a beautiful woman, and she's also 5 years younger than Dr. G. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so I really loved her hair too. I really loved the mom's hair. She wasn't a fan of Dr. G for obvious reasons at first, but now she's, fully on board after she saw, them together and that her daughter's happy. So she's good with it. For the most part, it seemed as though everybody in the family was good with it. I will say that. So we good there. That's a good feeling. I will say when you get along and have a good relationship with your in-laws, I'm very grateful to say that I have a good relationship with my in-laws, and I don't want to see it be any other way, because I see what that can do to relationships with families and stuff when it's not like that. And it's just, it can be very, very sad and draining. So I say that to say everybody did look like they were supportive of this union from the family aspect. And then we see everybody and they're en route. Everybody looked really nice. I will say that for the most part, it was, except for, I know Heavenly was like rushing to get out because it, like I said before, was also Alora's prom day this day. So I wasn't really here for her look too much, but I really, really liked Dr. Simone's look. I really, really liked, I liked Phaedra's look. Who else? Toya looked nice. Like, yeah, for the most part, yeah, everybody looked nice. Okay. But everybody's on their way, and then we see that Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Damon, they are running late. The Kimes are behind because, like I said before, it is Alora's prom, so they were doing her pictures and stuff. So they're running a bit behind. And apparently Curtis is back in the DR still working on some type of project. Do we believe that? Y'all let me know in the comments below. I don't know if I do, but we're just going to leave that there for right now. So again, we also see Dr. Contessa, her husband, Dr. Scott, we see them too. They're all in the camera. I was like, oh, hey. And they're like, she was apparently supposed to be invited to the bachelorette party, but she didn't go for whatever reason. Whatever, I don't know. Oh my God, the shade about the funeral program brochure, pamphlets, whatever. So there was shade thrown here because who was it? Somebody asked, was it Cecil asked Phaedra, like, did she have those types of programs at her wedding? And she was like, oh no, baby. Like, yeah, we had programs, but they were printed on a silk. Yeah. Of course, classic Phaedra. So where I got to get off the bandwagon here, though, is when Homegirl said that her and Apollo had been together since the 12th grade. You all do the math. If you are a RHOA watcher, then you already know why I'm pointing this out, because that don't make no sense. Especially when I believe Phaedra's like two or 5 years older. She's a couple years older than Apollo, so that the math just ain't math in there. But are we surprised? No, because it's Phaedra, the lady who tried to lie about her pregnancy date and stuff when she first came on RHOA. Yeah, just calling a spade here. So Dr. G walks in. He actually looked really nice. I will say that. He did look really nice. Dr. Damon and Heavenly, they finally get there and they reach the door. And when they give the dude at the door their names, he's like, yeah, your names are not on the list at all. What? Now, I'm going to give y'all your props because some people said this last week and I don't know why I just didn't put two and two together. When Maid of Honor was sitting there last week at the bachelorette party and Heavenly started saying some things that were not necessarily the most supportive of this union, the Maid of Honor was sitting right there collecting all of the tea. And a lot of y'all called that. So she told Sweet Tea what Dr. Heavenly said. So she took her name off the list. She was not playing. I'm like, I can't lie. Good move. Bold move. Okay. I have to give credit where credit is due. That was a hand played very well. However, production is always going to do you one better. And I say that to say, don't let that fool you. The Kimes still got in. I will say that. But prior to that, they had stepped to the side. The wedding planner, who I really don't remember him, like in Candy, like I don't remember that whole thing, y'all. So somebody DM me a clip so to jog my memory because I can't remember that whole thing between him. But a lot of y'all remember him from that. So yeah, his tux was too small. Like that was not okay, but whatever. So the ceremony then begins, and like I said, we see a Dr. Heavenly and a Dr. Damon walk up from the back. And I was like, not surprised. So word on the curb was that Phaedra threatened to let me not say threaten. Phaedra apparently said, oh, if Dr. Heavenly is not allowed to come in, I'm going to have to leave and go ahead with my pastor, my officiator. Like that was her people's. So that's kind of what I heard happened and how that whole thing went. So they do wind up getting in. Ceremony's over in like 2.2 from our perspective. So I'm not gonna say she didn't look nice. Like she looked like a beautiful bride on her wedding day, but I feel like I could have. I feel like I would have wanted to change a few things, but hey, that's not me. So do you, sis? But everybody congratulates them afterwards, and they start dancing, and everything is everything. And they all kind of go, most of them are like to the side, like pondering, like, oh, like why was Heavenly's name taken off the list? Like, if anything, Phaedra should have been taken off the list, like for what she pulled last week, that whole stunt. Anyway. And meanwhile, speaking of Quad, she's at home running a hot, steamy bath, living her best bachelorette life, and I'm here for it. I can't hate on that. So she's still off doing her own thing at this point during filming, from the looks of it. So again, Sweet Tea removed Heavenly's name because of what she was saying. She didn't like that. She wasn't here for that. I was like low-key like, okay, if that's how you felt, it's your wedding, whatever. I can't tell you how to feel. But I was like, that was low-key like, dang, collateral damage. Like Damon, that's his quote unquote friend, and he was about to miss out on that because something his wife said. So I just had to point that out. But in the end, Heavenly does go up to Sweet Tea, and she's like trying to congratulate her or whatever, and she's all like, don't be like that, don't be like that. And Sweet Tea's like, I'm gonna whoop your so she's not off it. She's not off it at all. And I know for a fact this is going to be the last time we hear about this. Like, this is at this point this is like the third strike for her. So I feel like she's about to really go off this time about this, because it was like them bringing up, talking about Quad at the engagement party. Then Quad freaking shows up last week. That was strike 2. And tick, tick, boom. This is now Heavenly was talking behind her back, talking real slick behind her back about stuff. That was the boom. So I can't wait to see what comes of this, y'all. This episode was good. I'm not mad at it. We could still say that Married to Medicine is still giving. So again, y'all let me know what you think of my commentary on this episode of Married to Medicine. Again, please like the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed. Check the description box below. Follow me on my social medias, y'all. And thank you for listening. Bye.